Hello, my friends, and welcome to a brand new episode of Discourse in Magic. My name is Jonah Babbins, and today we are talking about the holiday swell. What I mean by that is all of the gigs that are going to or could be coming in for basically the end of November and the month of December. And this episode is about how to prepare for that. If you're a gigging magician and you want more bookings than maybe you had last year during the end of November and December season, then this episode is going to be all about how to do that with not only some analogies and not only some information, but also some straight up tactics that you can steal and use in your magic business. So first, let's talk about the analogy that is going to make sense for all of this, which is think about those video games that maybe you used to play when you were a kid. The ones that come to my mind that check these boxes is like Tony Hawk or Guitar Hero, or even things like Space Invaders. And one thing that you probably remember from those video games is at a certain point, if you score enough points or you do enough things in a row without failing, then all of a sudden it's like double points or triple points or quadruple points. So all of the same tricks and moves and buttons and things that you would have done before are now worth 2 and 3 and 4 and 8 and 10 times the points. And that is exactly the same thing for how it works for the magic business stepping into the last 3 or 4 months of the year. Every single tactic that you do will work better. Why? Because there's more inquiries and there's more events and there's more budgets and there's more things going on for magicians, especially the ones that perform for corporates and companies and people that do holidays and parties around December time. So if you get this right, if you take advantage of this moment in time right now, then you could make basically the same amount of money as you make in the first 9 months of the year in the last 3 months of the year. You can really capitalize on that double points, on that increase in volume, on that increase in budgets, that's going on this season. If you get it wrong, then it means that you are spending more marketing dollars during the wrong times of year. You're putting more effort during the wrong times of year, and you're basically not getting the results that you could get during a time of year where the results are, to be honest, much easier than during other points in the year. So I want to walk you through first some data and some information to help you through it, and then some really practical tactics that can help you capitalize on the end of 2024. So first, I want to walk you through some data. Just a few days ago, I got off a call with my Google Ads guy. He not only manages all of my Google Ads, he also manages and advises the Google Ads for the 41 members of the mastermind. So I really do feel that there is no person that is more qualified to talk about Google Ads for magicians, because he helps and works with so many of us and has so much data to prove it. So we were talking about gigs from 2023, and he's really great with data, so he was able to amalgamate not only the gigs that came from ads, but just the gigs that we booked in 2023. And I want to walk you through what the last 5 months of the year looked like. So again, before I go through the numbers, I just want you to know that I'm talking about when the inquiry came in, not the date of the gig. For example, a lot of these gigs that I'm talking to you about, they would have happened in November and December, but the inquiry could have came in August or September. So here are the numbers of gigs that were booked during the last 5 months of the year. There were 9 gigs booked in August, 13 in September, 22 in October, 17 in November, and 3 in December. Again, this is not about the date of the event. This is about the date of the inquiry that got booked for the event. So what can you learn from this information? Well, the first thing we can learn is I am recording this on September 15th, which is dead in the center of September, which means we're basically nearing 25% through the basically hump, the growth in inquiry season. So if you haven't got on actually promoting and marketing yourself for the holidays yet, now is the time, because, we are basically a quarter of the way through it. The second thing that you should learn from this is that the data tells us that most of the amazing inquiries, most of the volumes of booking come in October and the beginning of November. And that's in line with a lot of the other data that we have. We found from all of 2023, on average, people inquire 60 days before the event date. So you can subtract 60 days from the first 2 weeks of December, and you basically land yourself in October and maybe a little bit of November. Again, it's an average. It's not exactly right. But the second thing that we learned is that the swell, the real swell, is coming in October and the beginning of November. So you really still have a little bit of room to capitalize on the inquiries that are coming in or are about to come in. And the third thing that we learn about this is about the very serious drop-off that happens in December. And there's a couple of reasons for this. Number one, if somebody is planning their event in December for December, then they probably don't care that much about entertainment. And for us, it really was true that people that are inquiring in December are for dates that we are already booked. So the big swell happens in October and November. It starts to trail off in December. And by the end of the second week in December, people are going away on vacation. They're taking their weeks off. They're just going. So the real swell is September, more in October, slowly turning down in November. And then by December, it sharply falls off of a cliff. So what do you do with this data? What do you do with this information? Well, I just want to give you the high level advice of what it is that you can do. 3 big ideas. And I'd love for you to just take one of them and run with them. Obviously, if you want some help or support, you know where to find me. Send me an email, magic@torontoMagicCompany.com, and I may be able to help. But just for some big, high level ideas, here's 3 things you could do to really capitalize on this information that we're talking. Thing number 1 is to double your ad spend. Whatever it is that you were spending on ads, double it in the end of September, October, and November. That's when the volume comes in. We want you to collect and grab more of the leads wherever it was that you were spending ad dollars, whether it was on Google or LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or magazine, whatever it is. If you're advertising for booking gigs, specifically doing holiday corporate gigs, then please double your ad spend. Like, Jonah, why are you telling me this? I'm your competition. I don't care. I'm here to help. So if you want more gigs for the holiday season, then double your ad spend coming basically now, but specifically into October and the beginning of November. Thing number 2 is we know that people are booking their stuff, roughly speaking, 60 days before the event date. So this is a really good time to contact all of your past clients. Everybody who has ever booked you in the past, send them a message, say, hey, are you planning something for the holidays? Here's a pro tip. Last year, if you were running ads or on gig sites or wherever you were last year, you got a bunch of leads that did not end up working out. These are what we call the no's and maybes in the mastermind. Contact them too. Reach out to the no's and maybes as well. And you can do that for 5, 3, 10, 20 years back of everybody who you've ever spoke to. And you are certainly going to generate some leads for that, especially because they're going to get a phone call or text or email from you right about the time where they are starting to plan the event. That's tip number 2. And tip number 3 is just an overarching approach for wherever it is that you are doing your marketing, which is to double your marketing efforts. I don't know what you're doing right now, but if there's a way to double it, double it. If you're running some sort of ads, double it. If you're doing some sort of cold email, double it. If you're DMing people on Instagram, double it. If you're posting on LinkedIn, double it. This is the time for you to double the marketing efforts because twice the volume, at least twice the volume, is happening. If you're posting blogs on your website, double it. There is nothing that you can't double. There is nothing that if you could double, you shouldn't. This is the time to double whatever marketing efforts that you are doing. So I wish you the best of luck in crushing the holiday season this year. And how do you do that? Well, double your ad spend, reach out to all of your yeses, nos, and maybes, and whatever other marketing efforts you are up to, double those as well. Because the big seasons of end of September, October, and the beginning of November is the time for you to go hard. It's the time where all the inquiries come in, and I want you to capitalize on all of those that are happening. So there you go. Hope you learned something. Hope you took something from this. And I hope, of course, that you use it and, have an awesome magic business and crush it for the end of 2024. If you want some help crushing the end of 2024, I cannot stress this enough. Now's the time to reach out for help. If you reach out for help to me like the end of November to say, hey, I want some help getting more gigs in December, I'm going to say, yeah, man, I can tell you what you may want to do, but you kind of missed the window. So if you really want to crush 2024 and you want support doing it, you can send me a message, an email to magic@torontomagiccompany.com. or you can DM me on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me. That's Jonah Babbins or Discourse in Magic. You know who I am by now. But anyways, thanks so much for being here. I hope you learned something. I hope this helps you make some money, and I will see you next Thursday. Ciao.